Hi, I'm Tristan, or Tristikov, and if you're viewing my channel, it's probably because you saw TF2 Kids. I can't believe it's been almost 9 years since I made this little animation, but it's got nearly 5 million views now, and I don't mean to brag, but that number still blows me away every time I see it. I originally made this animation for the final assignment in one of my animation classes back in 2008. I posted it to my DeviantArt around that time, but not everybody could watch it in its original Flash format, so I ended up putting it on YouTube at about 2011. Since then it kinda took off, and caught me by surprise. I didn't really expect it to do that well. Even being a fan animation of a game that was popular at the time, and something that I enjoyed playing a lot at the time, it still caught me by surprise that it did that well on YouTube. And I can only imagine how much more it would have generated if I'd actually put it up back in 2008, because TF2 fan art was all over the place when I made that animation, and I was really into TF2, so well, that's why I made the animation. And if you liked it, then fantastic. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you didn't like it, well, hope it didn't waste too much of your time. There are definitely a lot of issues with the animation because it was for a school assignment, and I needed to cut some corners to make sure the overall piece was finished by the deadline. And being a discrete story, getting all the story elements in there was more important than adding the background characters, which is why only NG, Pyro, and Spy make an appearance. I did originally intend to have all the classes in there, at least in the background, but I just ran out of time for that assignment because I had other classes and other animation projects that needed to get finished. So that's where it ended, and there's also plenty of other things I could have done to improve the animation, even with the skills I had at the time. There's some stuff that I've always kicked myself over for not doing, like the secondary motion on NG's feet. His toes don't bend when he's walking to the bus. Little things like that, but I just didn't stay into TF2. I think I got out of it about when the Scout update came out, and I have one of the silver bar things on Steam for having purchased the game. Not as early as I could have, but pretty early on. Anyway, I just wasn't into the game enough, especially after Hats came out and it became free to play. I just wasn't into it anymore, and I had other things that I was working on, so I never went back and did any visual updates to it. I did re-export a new version, and maybe I'll post that separately, so you can see it in a little bit higher resolution, because even in 2011, I think 720 by 540 is what the SWF was. Not that it matters because it's vector, so that's scaled up, and I'll post the 1080p, or not quite because it's 4:3 ratio, but I'll post the higher res version so you can look at it in higher fidelity if you want. Maybe you'll notice improved sound quality, maybe not. All of the sound for TF2 Kids was mixed in Flash and was streamed in the SWF, so not the most ideal way to put sound into a video, and a lot of the sound effects weren't exactly high quality for the time, so that's another thing I'm just gonna leave be. Some people have commented that the credits are about half the video, and they're not wrong. The credits were a bit of a shout out to fellow students in the class and to my teacher, and when you're working on a project by yourself, it's pretty tempting to throw your name in there for all the roles, since you're doing a lot of work and you want that to be recognized. It's a little tacky, but that's just how it was. And being the end of the semester, it's a nice way to wrap it up. Everybody watched each other's animations back in class, and that was a lot of fun, so that's why all the credits are there. And plus it times out with Rocket Jump Waltz, which is my favorite piece of music from Team Fortress 2. So anyway, if you enjoyed TF2 Kids, then thanks. I appreciate all the feedback, and thanks for likes, comments, subs. I haven't been too active on YouTube, but I hope to change that soon, and I hope you'll stick around and see my new stuff.